Check 1 2.
At the old Malmedy, whiskey is king. At the old Malmedy, cuisine is fine. At the old Malmedy, friends come to meet, drink, or just to see who's there. And they sing, Ave Malmedy, je prendrai votre amour avec moi. Ave Malmedy, je serai là pour vous dire bonne nuit. Ave Malmedy, on chantera toute la nuit dans ce son. Goodbye, Malmedy, à bientôt. Deep in the Ardennes, what wars have you bled and kissed on the battlefield? All the souls you have fed. Thank the Almighty through the good times and the sad. You were here, our shelter against the rain. I came to defend, made a friend and fell in love with you. Ave Malmedy, in your arms we are safe. In your love there's no country to die for, no religion too. We sing, Ave Malmedy, je prendrai votre amour avec moi. Ave Malmedy, je serai là pour vous dire bonne nuit. Ave Malmedy, on chantera toute la nuit dans ce son. Goodbye, Malmedy. Ave Malmedy, la-di-da, la-di-da. Ave Malmedy, la-di-da, la-di-da. Ave Malmedy, la-di-da, la-di-da. Comme ci, comme ça. Goodbye, Malmedy, à bientôt. À bientôt.
Okay, so that was the last version of Goodbye Malmedy that I've been working on. I've got a little bit of a cold here, so yeah, not feeling at the top of my game here. But I didn't want to miss today's session because I've got a lot to share, and I want to continue working on Goodbye Malmedy. So we're just going to push through. All right, so yeah, so this is my 28th episode, 28th Sunday this year, working on my music. So basically, this channel is about the behind the scenes look at me not trying, but but actually working on uh, becoming a singer and presenting my songs, um, and learning how to do that, going through all the things that I can think of. I have a vocal coach. I have a sound engineering class that I take. I just signed up at the local community music school for beginning band. Uh, so I'm hoping to learn in that class some performance skills. And I'm also trying to learn French, which is really, really hard. Um, so I signed up for some French classes at the French library. Yeah, so just a lot going on. And then next weekend coming up, I will have to cancel this show next Sunday because I will be in Philadelphia where I am filming Jody Shy. I don't know if you can see my T-shirt. Yeah, so the name Jody Shy. I'm gonna make a little documentary, kind of a an interview style with some narration and some B-roll, fairly um, hopefully compact and succinct story, telling the story of how Jody Shy, the name, came to be. So I'm really excited about that. Um, Also, really nervous. But the cool thing about it is, I will be working with Julian Jones, who you may know through his podcast, Loves Music, which is amazing. I strongly recommend you check that out. He also has a book that he wrote, which I read and loved, called The Pain You Choose. So definitely check that out. And he's an accomplished musician. He's got a couple of albums out that are also awesome. I enjoy listening to them. So highly recommend you check out the very talented Julian Jones. And feel so fortunate that I'll be able to work with him on. He's going to be helping me to tell my story. So I'm really excited about that. So that's next weekend, which explains why I won't be here next weekend. This has been a really busy summer. So last couple weekends, a couple weekends ago, I was in Malmedy in Belgium. Had a fantastic time at the Vibrations Music Festival. Got to meet some of the talent, some of the performers behind the scenes, backstage. That was really cool. Um, so anyway, yeah. And other announcements. Yeah, I think that's it for announcements. So today's show, I want to work on Goodbye Malmedy. So the show is broken into two segments. The first segment is vocal warm-ups. So I like to talk about what I'm learning and how I'm using it, and then actually just do it because I need to warm up for the second part of the second segment of the show, which is actually just a working session of recording. I like to track the vocals, and I'm tracking the vocals just over and over and over. What I have found for me is that um, recording myself and then listening to the recording has really been helpful in kind of fast tracking my talent, like fast tracking my skill. And it seems the more reps I put in, the better I get. So it's just an effort to just keep doing it, keep presenting these songs over and over, until I reach a point where I feel like, okay, I've got this. Like that's I like that. And so I'm feeling really good about Goodbye Malmedy. There's some performances that I've done that I've really liked. So I feel like I'm getting close. Um, so yeah, so we're gonna work on Goodbye Malmedy. So for vocal warm-ups, so a couple things happened in the last few weeks. My vocal coach changed. So I was working with Lena, who was amazing, and she had to step away for a little while. for some stuff that she's working on, which is awesome, and I'm really excited for her. Hopefully, she'll be back soon because I really enjoyed working with her. Enjoy working with her. But Arabella is my new vocal coach. She actually runs the coaching company, Arabella Voice Studio, and she's amazing and totally kind of she's helping me to kind of get to the next level, which is really exciting. And the next level is performance. So for the last 2 year and a half, I've been really focused just on basic skills: singing in tune, singing in time, musicality, rhythm, and those are all foundational skills that I have. But now I need to take it to the next level and actually apply those skills to performance. So this year, the rest of this year, I'm going to focus on performance. Hence, my signing up for the performance class at the local community music school. I'm nervous and excited at the same time for that. Um, and then Arabella, through her studio, she creates opportunities for performance as well. So playing at open mics and things like that. So I'm really focusing on performance and trying to get my skills up to the next level so I can actually perform in front of a live audience. So that's progress. That's huge progress, actually. Um, okay, so a couple of things that I've learned. So I've been having some regression with pitch. Like I felt like my pitch was getting really good, and then there was a little bit of a slump the last month or two where pitch was kind of not as good. And I discovered that one way that really helps me to improve pitch is to whatever exercise I'm doing. So let's say I'm doing an exercise that's melodic, 1 3 5 8 5 3 1, a scale like that, a melody like that, and then going up and down the, half step up and then half step down, that kind of thing. If I stay on the root note or a pedal tone and try to harmonize that note with the melody that's playing, I found that that really helps improve my intonation when I'm singing. So, so I think a couple of things happen with this approach or this particular exercise: singing one note and holding it, sustaining it, or repeating it for each beat or each melodic note. Right? Um, it's a couple things. You feel the note and you hear the note, and I'm trying to hear the note harmonizing or blending with the note that's being played by the piano or the instrument that's leading the exercise. And so for me, two things are happening. One is when I blend successfully, I can hear it. Like I hear a certain quality in the sound that I like. I go, okay, that sounds like it's blending nicely. And then there's also a certain feeling in the throat and in the instrument that I notice. And so associating that feeling and that sound, and then being able to reproduce that feeling and that sound when I'm actually singing. So that's the idea behind this new technique that I've been practicing to um, improve my pitch. And in fact, we're going to see if we can empirically uh, and objectively see how good this exercise improves or affects my pitch control. And yeah, so we'll do that for our warm up today. And then, as always, I like to have an intention for exercises. So my intention for today, I wrote down my intention is performance. So performance is all of the skills kind of combined, right? So it's a little bit more vague to just say performance. But we're talking about pitch. We're talking about timing, and then we're just talking about um, artifacts. Um, things that we can do with our voice that are unique to us, and it's unique. And so that's kind of what I want to focus on today. Although I think maybe the emphasis will be on pitch because that's the thing that I've been working on for the last few weeks. Okay, so let's fire up. I'm gonna fire up. Um, well, we can fire up Goodbye Malmedy as a starting point. And so, Goodbye Malmedy. Vocal exercises. Um, Voice lessons, intervals. Intervals is a good one. So I'm going to start with intervals. Okay, so here you can see these long sustained notes. So that's this exercise that I'm referring to. And so the idea is you hold the note and you try to blend it with the melody that's being played by the instrument. So here I've got a piano that's just playing a scale that's walking up and down the scale, and then I'm just sustaining a single note, trying to blend that note. The other thing to notice here, and this last time I did this, notice the large transient here at the beginning of this first couple of notes, right? Much starting probably with a lot of air and a lot of energy. And then the second time I took a breath here, the second time I tried to control it, got a little better, but still starting off a little louder, right? And then finally towards the end here, I was like, okay, let's see if we can normalize that. And so here it looks like I took a breath and then had a nice re-entry back into um, singing the melody. So this empirically, I like, objectively, we can see how well I'm managing the air and the volume. Uh, so I like to kind of observe these things. I really try to go for a nice consistent sound, particularly when after taking a breath and coming back in on a breath. The other thing that we can do with this is we can use flex pitch to kind of see how close we are to the actual pitch that we're aiming for. And there's a couple of things that I look for in here. So we can see that all three of these are within 7 plus or minus 8 cents. And my goal is to be able to consistently sing plus or minus 5 cents. So you can see I still have some work to do, but plus or minus 8 is pretty good. Now this is easier to do when you're sustaining one note. So the other thing I'm looking for in this graph is notice that the pitch varies, and this white line here is this graph line is kind of showing you the variations in the pitch as the note is sustained. And that has to do with the vocal folds opening and the instrument kind of moving around. And the idea here is my goal is to keep these all inside of the box that's painted here. So this box represents a certain amount of variation, right? This is lower, this is higher, right? And so just trying to get the sound. Now, you don't want it to be perfectly straight because then it sounds robotic, right? This is a natural human sounding voice. But it is, if you have a line that goes way down or way up, then that means you're dropping way out or going way high. And you really want to just try to keep the variations of the tone within this box. So, yeah, so this is pretty good. So here, plus or minus 8. I'm pretty happy with that. Goal being plus or minus 5. And yeah, we'll see if we can improve on that in today's session. So let's go ahead and give this a try. Oops. Turn flex pitch off. And so, yeah, with this exercise, I was just doing one at a time, but I think now we'll just go ahead and do the whole sequence. And I have a cold. You can probably hear it in my voice, so I don't have high expectations for tonal quality. What I'm after here is just pitch control. So slow this down a little bit. Let me do like 95 here. All right. And we're going to, so now there's a little bit of an echo, so my voice is coming through two channels. It's going into the microphone, into my digital interface. I'm using an RME Babyface Pro. Then it goes directly to Streamlabs desktop, and it goes to the DAW. The DAW is processing the signal and then also sending it, and that's why we hear that echo. So I'm just gonna turn off this microphone, and there's still a little bit of an echo, but it's oh, maybe because I'm hearing my own voice in the room and then the voice through the microphone. Okay, I would like that to wind out a little bit, and let's record. So you can see I actually modified this first exercise. I added the pedal tone, so that was just to help me hear the harmony. Pedal tone, go up one, pedal tone. These two notes here create a lot of really one, two, three. Yeah, that would be the third. That would be the fourth. That would be the fifth. So third and fifth generally sound really nice. So, but that's the idea. And then the rest of them, I didn't take the time to put in the pedal tone, but that's what we're after, is getting that bass note to just be consistent through the whole piece. So let's take a look real quick at the intonation on this guy. Let's see if we can get a sense of how I'm doing in it. So the first couple, oh, well, that's interesting. So I came in on this one. Look at that. Here a little flat, here a little flat. I was not really sure what I was doing, but then I found my note, and plus or minus 5, plus or minus 8, and 1. So yeah, so I would say hearing that pedal tone underneath and being able to connect to it was pretty solid. This is my desired state, plus or minus 5. So I'm really, really excited about that. Let's see if we can continue that. All right. Let's just start again and repeat this one. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna stop here. I'm feeling some fatigue in my throat, and uh, and it's a kind of tension that's different than it's not like me forcing the vocal cords. It's just stressed out, and I think it's maybe because of the cold. So I'm gonna stop here and just give my vocal cords a little rest. Maybe drink some water. And maybe we'll just, so one of the things that I was interested in when I was thinking about this was um, when I start the note, how close am I to being on pitch when I start? So it's like you start, typically what happens to me is I start a little sharp or a little flat. And what I'd like to do is start right on the pitch. So I'm just going to quickly go through the starts and look at how close I am on those starting pitches. So let's take a look at that. Okay, so this one overall started flat, and you can see the very first note, like it cracks here. So now that's interesting. The very first note is +4, but is it on the right note? And there's a way to make this bigger, and I don't remember what the command is. Will that do it? Hmm, that's annoying. There's a way to. So yeah, see, it looks like this. Why can't I make this bigger? Yeah, see, this little beginning part is flat, but it's a half step flat, but it's half step flat, but pretty close to the actual half step. Then I corrected, and then I start here. You can see I'm pulling up to the note, and then I pretty much stay consistently flat through holding that note. Then there was a change here, and then I finally got a little closer to the pitch. Now the next note, you can see we're starting flat and we're pulling up, but we got there pretty quickly. And here we're right on pitch. That's really good. Now it helps that I have the pedal tone playing in the instrument, right? So it just helps my ear to hone in on that sound. Um, but that's really great. And you can see the variations in the pitch here. So I started flat, went sharp, but then got right on pitch. And the flex pitch didn't feel the need to break that up into separate notes because it was fast. Like it just immediately adjusted to the note, which is really good. Then I had trouble hanging on to the note, so you can see him kind of wide, gently kind of falling flat and then kind of going sharp towards the end, probably running out of breath and trying to push more air, which pushed up the pitch there a little bit. Then the next note, a similar thing happened, right? So we started a little sharp, but overall we started right on pitch and we adjusted pretty quickly to get to the pitch. So that's great. And then the next one, okay, -3 and starting right on. It's awesome. Now this one, I took a break here. Um, Looks like I took a breath, right? A quick breath, and then started really sharp, um, and then kind of came back down and got within 13 of the pitch, but I'm sharp 13 cents, so not good on that one. And then this one here started sharp, came back down, and then I'm really close, right? -1, so I managed to kind of get back on the pitch. And see, same in the graph, being the beginning of the a correction to get to the note. So it thinks this is two separate notes, which it's not. So I would consider this a bad start. And then but minus 11, and then corrected myself and then got right on pitch. That's good. Here, bad start, but then managed to get right on pitch, and then it fell apart at the end. This one here, okay, another good start. So you can see I'm starting flat, but correcting really quickly, which is good. Eventually, I'd like to just start right on the pitch. That's the goal. But the fact that I'm getting to ±5 is awesome. This, I'd like to be able to do this with the melodic notes, right? It's kind of easy to hit the pedal tone. This is why I do this, because it's just training my ear to hear what it sounds like to be in tune, training my ear to hear those melodic notes moving over the pedal tone, training my physical sensation. What does it feel like when I'm singing this note? What does it sound like? That's what this exercise is all about. And then, of course, just measuring to make sure that I'm in pitch. So we can see when I went up to the next scale, half step, I came in flat and pretty much held it flat. And then corrected, and then we can see I went a little sharp, overcorrected. Here, this one had a rough start, but still pretty close. Pretty happy with that, and ±5 on that, so that's really good. And then here, another rough start, a little flat, but still not a lot flat. Like I'm quickly adjusting to getting to the note, and then okay. Here I'm +10, so outside of my goal. Okay, and now we step up. So here I was in pitch for the last little second here, and then moved up to the next one and ±5. So I'm really, really happy with that. ±5, adjusting from that half step. And then the next one started a little flat, but I'm ±5. Yeah, this is for me definitely an improvement, even with a sore throat. And okay, now here going up to that half step and flat, right? So that's a problem. Did I correct? No, still now I'm sharp, overcorrected, and then I'm starting to feel the tension, and this is when I was like, okay, I've got to stop. It's my throat is just hurting. Not hurting in a bad way, but hurting enough to be like, okay, let's not force this. I just want to relax and not force the vocal cords. All right, so let's focus on some of these higher notes. I'm just going to, let's do up here, and let's try this exercise a little bit with some of these higher notes. So these are up in my head voice range, and so I want to use a different part of the instrument, and maybe that'll help relax some of the tension that I was feeling in that previous exercise.
Just lower notes.
All right, let's turn off the baby face, and let's give this exercise a go. Okay. I'm sorry, I've been talking all this time with a muted mic. I don't know why I do that. Yeah. I was going through and listening, observing how good my pitch was on that last exercise. And yeah, so anyway, you didn't miss much. Most of it was visual anyway. But I'm just annoyed with myself that I keep having a dead mic. That's just unacceptable. Gotta fix that. Gotta find a workflow that doesn't require me to switch back and forth between uh, the different inputs like that. Yeah. All right. All right. I'm gonna put that on my to-do list. Um, single mic. Oh, I don't have to switch. For recording. All right. So I really want to fix that. I also still have a bit rate problem, but I tried connecting directly to my um, modem, and that didn't improve the the bit rate. So yeah. So anyway, um, hmm. I see that there's a couple of welcome to the chat room. So yeah, thank you for checking out the channel. I really appreciate it. Hopefully, eventually, once I start being able to perform songs, that's my goal, is to get to the point where I can actually perform songs. This channel will hopefully morph into more of a live practice sessions, and I'll be presenting songs. Right now I'm still just learning how to sing and learning how to present my songs. So for those of you who are following along, checking in on me, I appreciate it. Eventually I'll get to the point where I'm presenting songs, and that's my goal, is to be able to sing and present songs uh, without all of this practice and training and um, rote stuff. But hey, humble beginnings, baby steps. I'm trying to figure out how to get there. All right. So yeah. So the Tarzan exercise, move between these one. Let's just practice this exercise. I think I'm just gonna stick with a for now, and the sound, and try to keep it simple. Uh, I've got a cold, so I really don't want to tax the vocal cords too much. Reduce the stress, and I'm gonna leave that double microphone on there, the double inputs. It's not terrible, but here we go. Okay, I'm gonna stop there and just quickly analyze how I'm doing. Oh, the joys of having a cold while you're presenting on a live stream. Okay. Yeah, I just want to observe my pitch. I'm also, with this exercise, I like to also look at timing. So remember, performance is pitch, timing, and artifacts. So here, I'm mostly interested in pitch and timing. So we can see the very first start, right? Starting out of pitch. Um, and it took me almost half of the note to figure out the pitch, and it was still sharp. So I started way sharp and then stayed sharp, but got closer. And then going up, couldn't really find the top note, and then came back down and was looks like I might even be on the wrong note altogether. So let's see, we're singing. Don't know what this note is. So B, C. So this B. So here's my B. And so I started on the C, plus or minus to the fifth. B. So there's the. So my. What is the fifth? I can't even think of what the fifth is. So it's this C, D, E, F sharp. So the fifth would be the F sharp. Okay, F sharp is what I'm looking at. F sharp. So did I get to the F sharp? No. Okay, finally here, I'm finally reaching the F sharp. All right, so it took me a while to hone in on the notes that I'm singing, right? That's kind of indicative of the ear training problem that I have. So I really want to figure out a way to fix that. I'd like to be able to hear these notes in my head and be able to sing them right off the bat. Now, of course, it doesn't help that I have a cold and all those kinds of things. So, all right, let's see how we did once we got going. Let's look at the second one here. Okay, so now we're starting on the key of C. So here's my C. And this would be a G. And that looks like I got my G. Okay. So I'm flat and I'm flat, but at least I'm getting on the note, right? So I got my C and I got my G. And here now I'm flat, and then here getting closer to my note. So this is the C right here. And now here I'm getting closer, right? I'm on my C, but still really, yeah, G finally. So I'm just looking at the box right now to see how close I am to the key, the bar here that represents the note. Now, of course, I'm way off on intonation, 18 cents sharp, but that's okay. At this point, I'm just looking for general. And then, but here's what, look at that though. That's, the timing is really good. Notice my timing is right on. I start that note on time and I end it on time. So pitch, not so good, but timing is pretty good. Here it looks like I started the note a little late and ended it a little early, but then I got the performance, importantly, being able to measure progress. All right, so I think I'm done with the vocal warm-ups. And I want to transition into our next segment where we can actually do some singing. So that I wrote when my mother-in-law passed away. And the song is about the restaurant that she started called Avi Malmedy, which means the old Malmedy. And yeah, the song, very personal song for me. But I've developed a narrative after I wrote the song that places the restaurant and the backstory for the song in World War II. Now, the restaurant did not exist in World War II. She started the restaurant about 25, 30 years ago, I think. But it's now an institution in the town of Malmedy. And yeah, so the backstory for this is the restaurant or a place like it in World War II where soldiers, Allied soldiers, could come and get refuge and get a hot meal and a whiskey. And it's indicative of the generosity of my mother in law and her love for the town and her love for her community, and her remembrance, and frankly, the remembrance of most Europeans of World War II and the brutality of that war, and and the humanity that came to defend them. And yeah, so this song takes on a huge um, importance for me personally when I think of the song in that context. But at the heart of it, it's a goodbye song. It's saying goodbye to someone I love, but then also my mother-in-law saying goodbye to the ones she loves and the place and places that she loves. And so, yeah, very very personal song for me. Okay, so with that, we listened at the beginning of the show. We listened to this version, which I really like. I think it's sounding great. But we're going to continue practicing. So you can see I'm up to take 51. I just have my ear pop. Ooh, very strange. I've been taking Sudafed. I think I'm going to take another one. All right. Sudafed. All right. I'm going to mute my mic for a second. I want to adjust the mic. I want to stand up for this. Give me 1 second here as I set up. Okay. So, a couple of things that have been happening. Let's see, I think I can get rid of this microphone now. This input. All right, so you're hearing my audio through the DAW. So there's a little bit of effect. But hopefully you should be able to hear me okay. Um, so one of the things that's been happening with me singing these songs over and over and over again in this practice mode is it's helping me to improve my performance skills. It's helping me to practice, uh, but it's also helping me to like memorize the words, memorize the timing. And there's performances that I've done, and I listen to them, and I'm like, I'm not sure I can actually reproduce them, right? So there's a point with performance where you want to be able to reach a level of proficiency where you can sing something the same way every time. And I'm not there yet. Like, my performances are getting consistently better, but they're also fairly consistently unique. Each performance is fairly, sometimes subtly different. And so there's things that I want to, like, there's something I might hear and I'll be like, wow, I really like that. I want to be able to do that every time, right? I'm not quite there yet. I'm still discovering my voice performance. How do that represents the song really, really well, particularly in a live setting. Yeah. Okay. So without further ado, let's give Goodbye Malmedy a run. Let's see what it sounds like. Okay, so um, on the whole, I thought that was a pretty good performance. I have no idea. I messed up. I messed up the chorus. I got the words wrong, and then kind of forgot the words, so it was a little weird. Um, but the effect of my throat because of the cold is kind of interesting. So I'm kind of curious to hear what it sounds like. So let's play it back, and give it a listen and see what we can learn. At the old Malmedy, whiskey is king. At the old Malmedy, cuisine is fine. At the old Malmedy, friends come to me, oh, just to see who's there. And we sing. Ave Malmedy, je prendrai votre amour. Serrez la pauvre Dieu en la nuit. Ave Malmedy, on chantera toute la nuit dans ce son. In the audience, what wars have you bled and kissed on the battlefield? All the souls you have fed, the Almighty, through the good times and the sad. Our shelter against the rain. Came to defend, made a friend, and fell in love with you. Ave Malmedy, in your arms we are safe. Your love has no country for no religion to sing. Ave Malmedy, je serai là pour dire mon ennui. Ave Malmedy, je Okay, so and there's a lot of weird things going on here that I don't understand. Usually, when I record and play back, the playback doesn't play back with um, this low latency, but for some reason, playback had low latency, so some of the mix that I have for this wasn't there. So the vocals were really soft and low and very dry, which often is a good way to listen to the voice. Um, just to hear like what it sounds like without all the effects. Um, yeah, so I'm tempted. I want to play it back again with the effects, just to see if there's something different. I don't know why it's not playing back. Let me just double check my settings here. Oh, that's interesting. Um, let's slow. Let's reduce the latency.
he is king at the old Malmedy. Cuisine is fine at the old Malmedy. Friends come to me to drink or just to see who's there, and they sing. Avis Malmedy, j'apprendrai votre amour avec moi. Avis Malmedy, je serai là pour vous dire bonne nuit. Avis Malmedy, on chantera toute la nuit dans ce son. Deep in the Ardennes, what wars have you bled and kissed on the battlefield? All the souls you have fed. Thank the Almighty through the good times and the sad. You were here, our shelter against the rain. Came to defend, made a friend, and fell in love with you. Ave Malmedy, in your arms we are safe. In your love there's no country to die for, no religion too. Ave Malmedy, je prendrai votre amour avec moi. Ave Malmedy, je serai là pour vous dire bonne nuit. Ave Malmedy, on chantera toute la nuit dans ce son. Goodbye, Malmedy. Ave Malmedy, la-di-da, la-di-da. Ave Malmedy, la-di-da, la-di-da. Comme ci, comme ça. Goodbye, Malmedy. À bientôt. À bientôt.
Okay, so this is a little lower. The other thing that I'm trying to do is when I start going to those higher notes, I'm trying to keep my throat more open and keep the larynx lower and the vocal box lower, vocal cords lower, to lower the formant, to try to keep the tone more consistent, right? And so that's a change in the way I'm presenting the song. And it's hard for me to do that. So and you really notice it at the end when I do that little head voice, those the little riff at the end. And but really just trying to keep the throat open, leave the vocal box in the same position as where I was singing the song, to try to keep the sound nice and fluid. And that's just a new thing for me, and it's difficult for me. So I really have to focus on just keeping the throat open, keeping it relaxed, letting the melody move through that placement. That's actually coming from our placement work that we've been doing. And so I'm really just practicing that and trying to get that to be a consistent way for me to sing these notes. And it's making an improvement. I'm definitely singing these higher notes better, with a little more control, a little more facility, a little easier. but it's still not quite right. Like I've got more work to do in that particular area of my voice. All right, so overall, I thought it was a pretty good performance. I'm just gonna track it again and see what I can get. Now I've been playing around with this mix. Really would like the percussion to be a lot stronger. I notice, and I listen to music and the stuff that I'm hearing that I like. Percussion seems to be a lot more prominent in the mix. So I'm experimenting with that and trying to figure out how to get more of the percussive, particularly the kick and the snare, to be more integral and more prominent in the mix. And so that's just some experimentation. I think some of the transients are pretty sharp, pretty harsh. So I probably need to work on smoothing out and dampening down some of those transient sounds while maintaining that those nice hits. So we'll work on the mix as we go along. But let's get back to the voice. Let's see if we can do another take. I think I might have one or two takes left in my voice before my cold just says, no more. Oh, I'm gonna turn this microphone. At the old
the old Malmedy. Cuisine is fine at the old Malmedy. Friends come to la vie Malmedy. J'apprendrai votre amour avec moi. La vie Malmedy, j'essaierai la pauvre dire bonne nuit. La vie Malmedy, on chantera toute la nuit ta chanson. Goodbye, Malmedy, à bientôt. Deep in the Ardennes, what wars have you bled and kissed on the battlefield? All the souls you have fed, thank the Almighty. Through the good times and the sad, you were here, our shelter against the rain. I came to defend, made a friend and fell in love with you. Avi Malmedy, in your arms we are safe. In your love there's no country to die for, no religion too. We sang Avi Malmedy, Avi Malmedy, on chantera toute la nuit ta chanson. Goodbye, Malmedy. Avi Malmedy, la-di-da, la-di-da. Avi Malmedy, la-di-da, la-di-da. Avi Malmedy, la-di-da, la-di-da. Comme ci, comme ça. Goodbye, Malmedy, à bientôt.
Okay. So that's an interesting performance. Definitely the colds, my sinus congestion, head congestion, a little bit of not. I don't have a sore throat, but there's definitely an affect in the throat a little bit. Is coloring the thing. Definitely everything sounds a little smoother. I don't know the way to describe it, but it's kind of a cool sound. I like it. I compensating by, because the nasal cavity is so congested, maybe that's forcing the sound to kind of move to different areas in the nasal cavity. I'm not sure exactly what's causing this particular sound, but I kind of like it. I am struggling to sing. Let's do another take. Let's see if we can just relax and just enjoy the sound that we're producing right now. At the old Okay, so that performance, at least I felt like I got through it end to end without too many mistakes, or too many things that weren't perfect. Perfect might be too strong of a word, but I thought that was a good performance. There were a couple of moments where I wasn't quite hitting the note the way I thought I should or could, but overall, I thought that was a pretty good performance. Um, so let's give that a listen and see what we can learn.
At the old Malmedy, whiskey is king. At the old Malmedy, cuisine is fine. At the old Malmedy, friends come to meet, drink, or just to see who's there. They sing, Ave Malmedy, j'apprendrai votre amour avec moi. Ave Malmedy, je serai là pour vous dire bonne nuit. Ave Malmedy, on chantera toute la nuit dans ce sang. Goodbye, Malmedy, à bientôt. Deep in the Ardennes, what wars have you bled and kissed on the battlefield? All the souls you have fed. Thank the Almighty through the good times and the sad. You were here, our shelter against the rain. I came to defend, made a friend, and fell in love with you. Ave Malmedy, in your arms we are safe. In your love, there's no country to die for, no religion to. We sing. Ave Malmedy, je prendrai votre amour avec moi. Ave Malmedy, je serai là pour vous dire bonne nuit. Ave Malmedy, on chantera toute la nuit dans ce sang. Goodbye, Malmedy. Ave Malmedy, la-di-da, la-di-da. Ave Malmedy, la-di-da, la-di-da. Ave Malmedy, la-di-da, la-di-da. Comme ci, comme ça. Goodbye, Malmedy, à bientôt. À bientôt.
Okay, here we go. Yeah, I had to step out real quick. I was out of water. Yeah, so I only caught the second half of the song, the last chorus in that, and I thought it was actually. The last riff at the end, obviously, I need to work on that. And I think that's a part of it is just agility, like being able to keep the throat open, move through those melodic uh, notes, and just stay relaxed and get to the pitch, quickly and in time, so that I'm not hitting a sour note and then rising up to the. There's a little break that happens when I'm switching between the chest voice and the head voice. I want to smooth that out. So there's definitely work to do in that area, but I think the other thing that I'd like to work on is I'd like to have a better separation between the choruses and the verses. Like I'm thinking maybe the verses are more spoken, and and the choruses are a little more sing songy. I'm even thinking about adding an extra break before the chorus, so it's like we hear. Let's see how I was thinking it'd be something like. At the let's see. Ave Marie, je prendrai votre amour avec moi. Ave Marie. Oh, so that is the chorus. So it's leading into the chorus. So it's a hit that break. Ave Marie. So just like. Like just have this extra beat. So I don't quite know how to implement that yet with this current recording. I might have to redo the guitar a little bit. Might have to program the drums a little bit differently. But I kind of like having like a little more separation between the verses and the chorus. And so I want to do that in a couple of ways. Maybe adding this extra beat, this break, and then making the verses a little softer, a little more spoken. So there's some more. I want to have a little more dynamic between soft and loud, and that idea. So let's try this again. All right. So turn this mic. Okay. So, um, yeah, that felt like a, a pretty good performance. That performance felt pretty consistent with the previous performance. Um, I'm looking at the waveform and I'm noticing the verses seem to be softer. The first verse is nice and soft. The first chorus is a good volume. Then the second verse and the bridge seem to be the same volume or not. Like I really guitar waveform here. So if we look at the guitar, this segment right here, I just reduced the gain significantly on that segment, trying to entice the vocals to come down, but they're still not coming down. So from a performance perspective, yeah, I think I want to try to continue to work on those dynamics and get the verses to be a little more intimate, a little more quiet, maybe. I don't know if quiet's the right word, but certainly to feel very different from the choruses, which should be more singy. Let's give this a listen.
At the old Malmedy, whiskey is king. At the old Malmedy, cuisine is fine. At the old Malmedy, friends come to meet, drink, or just to see who's there. And they sing. Ave Malmedy, j'apprendrai votre amour avec moi. Ave Malmedy, je serai là pour vous dire bonne nuit. Ave Malmedy, on chantera toute la nuit dans ce son. Goodbye, Malmedy, à bientôt. Deep in the Ardennes, what wars have you bled and kissed on the battlefield? All the souls you have fed. Thank the Almighty through the good times and the sad. You were here, our shelter against the rain. I came to defend, made a friend, and fell in love with you. Ave Malmedy, in your arms we are safe. In your love, there's no country to die for, no religion too. And we sing, Ave Malmedy, je prendrai votre amour avec moi. Ave Malmedy, je serai là pour vous dire bonne nuit. Ave Malmedy, on chantera toute la nuit dans ce son. Goodbye, Malmedy, la-di-da. Ave Malmedy, la-di-da, la-di-da. Ave Malmedy, la-di-da, la-di-da. Ave Malmedy, la-di-da, la-di-da. Comme ci, comme ça. Goodbye, Malmedy, à bientôt. À bientôt.
Yeah, so and there was some pitch issues on those higher notes at that last chorus, which was really annoying because I've been getting. I was The previous performance was much better. Um, I messed up the intro verse, so just started singing a little too early, and then kind of lost my timing. Um, but I was able to recover, and so that's good, and made it through the song. So from a performance perspective, making a mistake and just playing, continuing through the mistake, very very important skill. So yeah, overall, not a bad performance. Um, let's see. We got about 6 minutes left. Let's track this one more time. See if I can do better. At the old Malmedy, whiskey is king. At the old Malmedy, cuisine is fine. At the old Malmedy, friends come to meet, drink, or just to see who's there. And they sing, Ave Malmedy, j'apprendrai votre amour avec Ave Malmedy, je serai là pour vous dire bonne nuit. Ave Malmedy, chantera toute la nuit dans ce Okay, so that concludes the show. I'll play this version out as we end the show. Thank you so much if you drop in on this channel, checking it out. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Hearts to you for checking it out. Please check out my music. I do have a bunch of songs. A bunch. I have 3 songs that are out. Fourth one coming soon. I hope to release Goodbye Malmedy in the fall. So really looking forward to that. And yeah, thank you so much for checking out the channel. And we'll see you, so not next Sunday, but the following Sunday. Thank you very much.
At the old Malmedy, whiskey is king. At the old Malmedy, cuisine is fine. At the old Malmedy, friends come to meet, drink, or just to see who's there, and they sing. Ave Malmedy, je prendrai votre amour avec moi. Ave Malmedy, je serai la pauvreté. Bonne nuit. Ave Malmedy, on chantera toute la nuit until ce soir. Have you bled and kissed on the battlefield? All the souls you have fed. Thank the Almighty through the good times and the sad. You were here, our shelter against the rain.